talk about kind of
You have a professional
strange,
voice. Are
sad.
you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hey, I thought we would talk about the strange sadness of corporate America. You
In
with
what
me?
sense? In what sense?
Well, you know how when you think it's all good, you got a job and you go and you put your tie on or you did back in the day.
Yeah, that's why I do what I do now.
And, you go into the office and you sit in your cube and you do your best and, you don't get, every day just kind of goes by with this kind of gripping fear of, because the corporate strategy is a lot different than the entrepreneurial strategy, right? You've seen both too. On the one hand, the corporate thing is like lay low, don't get noticed, because if you get noticed, you might become a target. Whereas in the individual sort of entrepreneur side of things, you really need to take charge and be dynamic and move ahead, not be afraid to fail, make an ass out of yourself, whatever it is, you know what I
Make
mean,
an
to
ass out of
get
myself
your
every
goal.
day.
Yeah. I mean, you're living proof of that one. You doing those wolf toenails of yours again?
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I will give you my full and undivided attention. Hold on. Puts on his goggles here. See what's going on. Gets his ashtray, even though the doctor said. Now, we here at the Geezers Playhouse are not endorsing any kind of smoking or vice. We hope we're dealing with a relatively mature, civilized crowd.
advice.
But if I had to make a recommendation, Pall Mall. You could take it from your old buddy Rufus and millions of dead smokers. Pall Mall satisfies.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Remember that when they had that huge lawsuit against corporate tobacco, and it was like billions of dollars of payouts? Because it really wasn't. They're pushing addiction, right? I mean, why is that legal? But like, you can't go snorting lines off the toilet.
There was actually a very good movie about that. I forgot the name of it, but it centered around the guy again. I forgot his name. He was the like one of the head chemists with not Laurelard.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe it was Laurelard or American Tobacco or one of them. And he was it was almost like the mafia. It's like they were actually like threatening his life, and he had like the feds, like he was under federal protection. It's like the feds would escort his daughter to school and everything, because it's like,
Wow.
yeah, he was going to be saying some stuff. Brandon Williamson, that was the company, because he was going to be saying some stuff that they didn't like at all. And
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I mean, do you remember Joe Camel? I mean, that was sort of like, that was a cartoon. It was meant to swoop in the young um, smokers because the older ones were going to die off or whatever it was.
so anyway, going back to corporate America, there's yeah, it's my strategy when I was working with. Am I allowed to use the name? All right, cut. All right, now back in the day when I was working with Data Associates, is that okay?
That's great. I love Data Associates. Hey, you remember Radio Shack? Radio
Yep,
Shack.
I used to
Yeah,
love Radio Shack.
they were pretty awesome, right?
And you're the ones always complaining about how it's like, yeah, I can't have a like, I can't follow a lucid thought. You keep interrupting.
Sorry. Was that
I
an
didn't
interruption? A little Radio
say
Shack
I
man?
rarely have lucid thoughts. So when I was working with Data Associates, yeah, I had to. It was an entry level position. I was in the legal department doing data entry, and it's the kind. Actually, it's the same thing that happened to me when because if you remember, well, we were fell out of touch at that. But before Data Associates, I used to work with the European American Bank, and we can say that because they're not around.
Right.
And one of the problems is if you make yourself too useful. I don't know how true it is. Probably even gotten worse. If you make yourself too useful, it actually makes it very difficult to get yourself, if they hire from within, to promote yourself, because it was, yeah, I was there for, I mean, the place, I was miserable. The place was giving me an ulcer. My career there lasted 6, maybe 8 months.
And
And
then what? Then what happened? You were like, I'm getting the F out of here. And you did what?
well, yeah, what happened was out of an office of like 60, 65 people, I was always like one of the top 5, usually one of the top 3 producers. And I used to technically it was 9 to 5. I used to wander in somewhere between 9 and 9:15. I'd wander out somewhere between 4:30 and 5. Fridays, good luck finding old Rufus after 4:30. And but I was putting out the numbers, so like, who cares?
Right.
Apparently, my supervisor had to sit down and have a talk with me because other people in the office were complaining
About what?
I wasn't pulling enough weight
Oh, you're not a weight
because
puller,
they
are you,
show up
Rufus?
at 7 in the morning and they don't leave until almost 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, and I was saying to my supervisor, it's like, yeah, then look at the number. It's like, I sign in, I sit at my desk and I rock. It's like
Mm.
I'll take a
Yeah,
bath,
yeah. I don't go to the water cooler, and I don't,
get like a cup of coffee. I was eating lunch at my desk, whatever. Yeah, and then meanwhile, like the click back there, they're taking like 2.5 hours for lunch because they go and shoot hoops because there was a gym at the place, and then it's like can't go back to the office all smelly after shooting. Now I gotta take a shower, and it's like so they're
yeah.
taking like 2, 3 hours for lunch,
And then I
and
work
then
till 10 or 11.
and then he gave me that like typical corporate line of horse shit that I can't stand. Well, you knew when we hired you, we were looking for a dedicated team player. I'm like,
Boy.
I said to her, this isn't a team. This is 10 people busting their humps to carry the other 50.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And
I mean, just the idea now of having a boss, right? Somebody who is like towering over you, telling you you suck and work harder and, you're not giving enough to the capitalist cause. Yeah, I'd rather die by my own sword. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like go out and be my own man and have my own business and fail than to like have be my age and have a 33-year-old come in and tell me, you know what? You're going to clean out your desk now because we're doing a efficiency cutback or whatever the hell it is.
one
You
of
know,
my,
people
one
move
of
their
my,
whole lives to this shit, dude. Like their whole identity. You know what I mean? Like I'm a serious company man. Like they would fucking kick your ass out in a second, and
happened
they're
to my
like in a second
father-in-law.
if it suited them. Don't be too loyal.
That's another reason why I do what I do. It's like, it's like,
You know what I see a lot as a CPA is guys come into me and they're about 55, 56. They just got laid off, right? For the first time, they're like the bubble of corporate security has been like pierced, and it's like the first thought is I'm going to become a consultant. I don't know what the hell they think they're going to consult at, but they're all going to become consultants. So
that's,
they run over and they open an LLC, right? That's the first thing because they're going to be a corporation. Maybe some of them are really crazy ones go down to Delaware because they heard Delaware LLCs are the way to go, if you're a giant banking and, like that's going to be
the
them.
reason
And
why all
then,
the I'm sorry, go.
and so then, 2 years later, I'm helping them shut the company down. you know, because they can't hack the psychology of like, what do you, I thought like the corporate security world is very different than the who knows what the hell is going to happen today mentality. You have to
Well,
be able to roll with the punches as an entrepreneur. You're like hiding in your cube it's a very, very different
well,
psychology.
that's one of the things I can't stand about self-employment. And as you know, it made itself painfully obvious during during the divorce how um when you file when you get divorced in New York State, I don't know if this is like throughout, during the proceedings, you have to file a statement of net worth. Okay. I don't know exactly what it is, what it's for, I guess, because if it's not an amicable thing and she's going to try to take you to the cleaners, whatever, um, being self-employed, the business assets are included in the statement of net worth. And you're my accountant. No, you know how I stand financially. Nowhere near what the statement of net worth says. So, according to the statement of net worth,
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so that kind of like, factored into divorce to make things difficult because it's like, her lawyer had this bug up her ass that like,
You're rich.
oh, I go to these trade shows and it's like, it's all cash. And I'm like, like I got like coffee cans full of cash, like, just buried out there in the backyard somewhere.
Well, we all know that's true, but I'll tell you one thing I see a lot too is people are always shocked because I don't do estate tax returns, right? Because they're 100% audited. They're all, it's big money. The government can get their claws in some big cash and they go over it with a fine tooth comb. Very specialized thing. So I tell them people go somewhere else for that. But the thing is, a lot of them are often shocked at the fact that they even have to file. Like, you don't have to file at the federal level if you make like more than $10 million, right? Then you after that you have to file an estate tax return. But at the state level, that could be 1 million or 2 million. Now that includes the value of your house, the value of any life insurance. So if you have $1 million life insurance, boom, you entered the estate tax territory in the state of XYZ. And people are
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? But that counts as part of your estate.
That's the other thing too, is people hear million, people hear million, $1 million. It's not Gatsby money anymore.
God,
Like
no. What are you kidding? You
being
can't afford a house for that.
when you're talking about well, that's what they wanted. That's what like as being the sum total. When you shed this mortal coil, that's what's the sum total value of a man's life. $1 million is fucking nothing.
At the end of the day, it's all just green tickets, man. I mean, if I have to, I'll go live in the Himalayan foothills, and you know what I mean. It's like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let money be the center of gravity for my life.
Well, that's why I do what I do now. It's I used to say that to Johan. I used to tell him, it's like, I could have still been doing something corporate. I said, I'd be making a hell of a lot more money. You'd never see me.
Right, and you'd be unpleasant, and there goes this life. You know what I mean? Just giving it up for money,
I'd be more unpleasant.
more unpleasant. That's right, exactly.
The other thing too is like, you're
Society
talking
in the
about,
workplace.
you know, I forgot how you phrased it, like, the state of corporate America or whatever. Yeah, the other thing too is the greed has gotten much, much, much worse. I mean, I'm sure people will argue with me about like, oh yeah, you used to have the robber barons and da 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 da.
Unlike this is
Yeah,
crazy, man. They're just pilfering the government as if there's no end.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Well, not even the guys in the government. Just like you had the robber barons and everything, but again, I don't think it was at this at this level. It's almost like with the way I don't know. Is it the lobbyists? Is it just the influence peddlers, or yeah, I don't, yeah, where basically it's like legalized robbery now.
Capitalism has within it the seeds of its own destruction.
And I mean, you look at like,
I know. It's like I got accused of using my corporate jet for improper services, but my dog walker is here and my dog is here. What do you expect me to do?
and it was like the whole thing too, like back up. What was it like after the market melted down in what was that, '07 or whatever? Like when they had to bail out the auto companies.
Wasn't that Lehman Brothers' demise as well?
I believe so. Yeah, but yeah, it's like I remember some of the heads of the auto industry were catching hell over that because it's like they're going to beg for money. They're flying their private jets.
Right, exactly. Like, there's no fat in our
Like,
industry, but
what?
yeah, unbelievable how obtuse people are. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, got a couple bill for me, and
Yeah,
and my private jet's really old. Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. Is
the
it's like
oldest oligarch.
it used to piss me off too when it's like again, this is our generation. It's like I remember with
The
that
second greatest generation.
with the market meltdown, it was, oh, this is this is the depression of our generation. I'm like, fuck you. Yeah, it's like, why? It's like you have to, you can't eat. Yeah, you can only eat out once or twice a week now.
Eat out. Who can afford to eat out, man? It's
Oh,
fucking
back in
$25
'06,
to go to
it's
McDonald's
like,
now.
everybody's talking about they're going broke, I lost so much money. It's like, oh, poor you. When your lease is up, you can't get another Beamer. You're gonna have to get a Ford.
As the
It's
stock market continues to rise, like it's totally detached from the fundamentals of the economics anymore. Market share, it's
it
just
is. It's
price
Wall Street
value
ceased
of a
being any kind of economic indicator. It's just
yeah. That departed like in the '90s. It was like,
um the dot-com is where it all fell apart
yeah,
because
right.
now yet you see them. It's like, oh, they're trading on expected earnings. It's
From
like,
10 years from now,
yes, it's like
10-year discounted cash flow.
yeah, and it's just the whole greed thing is out of control. The whole even like which all it all ties in. It's like the downfall of like manufacturing, that's partly tied into the greed of everything, which the downfall of manufacturing that pretty much wiped out the middle class. You used to have a solid middle class here on Long Island because of all the defense industries and all the little satellite things, and now all that's gone. Yeah, you look at you just walk into Walmart and backtrack a little bit. Like our grandparents, you can't compare like Walmart to Woolworths. Our parents used to go to Woolworths. Probably 90% of the crap in Woolworths was made here.
Well,
Yeah.
now I'll tell you, we're gonna be seeing robots soon, right? I mean, are we gonna be making them? Are they gonna be? I doubt it. It's probably gonna be coming in cheap from China. But I mean, by the time we're like 90, there's gonna be a robot to wipe your tushy and
Yeah.
feed you and change your gelatinous, whatever it is.
Yeah. Is that kind of ironic? It's like we're going to have robots building robots.
Right. The only and what who's gonna need who it's gonna have to be universal income at that point, right? You're gonna have to tax the robots, the manufacturers of the robots, and you're
Mhm.
gonna have to give that money to the general populace.
Well,
That's the
do you
only
remember?
way the economy is gonna work.
Well, if you remember, do you remember like when we were in high school, and that's like when they were starting to break away from like the shop programs and the what do you call it, like the trade schools and everything. Everybody's going to go to college, and the
Service industry.
manufacturing jobs started disappearing. Nobody gave a shit because the line we always used to hear is, well, we're transitioning. It's just a natural progression of the evolution. We're transitioning to a service economy now.
Mhm.
And it's like, we're going to be white collar. So it's like, why do you need all this? Oh, it's like, oh, okay. But then somehow nobody ever thought that like the white collar shit's going to get, is being farmed
No
out
shit.
now.
That's the first to go with AI. Like, who needs a lawyer now when you can hop on Chat GBT and like be like,
Well,
"Hey, write me up a contract for a 1031 exchange." You know what I mean, or something like.
look, even like what
Why go to college? You might as well become a plumber now. Those are the ones that are going to be the last to fall.
Johan is going into a culinary program. And I'm like,
That's
good. It's like,
awesome.
so it's,
Awesome.
but that was the other thing too. Even like
Take
book.
that AI. Yeah. Do you remember the first versions of like Lotus and Excel, the spreadsheets with WYSIWYG? What you see is what you get. Like that was like mind blowing at the time. That like it's not coming out as a dot matrix thing. It's coming out kind of like I see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you next time. All right.
Turn off the
Episode
lights on
3.
your way out.